In a world where a hug is the standard greeting and physical touch is seen as the ultimate sign of love, what if you just don't like it? If you've ever been called cold, distant, or broken for not wanting a hug, you're not alone. There's a huge group of people out there who genuinely don't enjoy being touched. It's not because of trauma, and it's not because they can't love. It's because their brains are wired differently. They see friends casually touching, couples holding hands, and they feel nothing. Or maybe just tired from having to pretend they enjoy it just to avoid judgment. If this sounds like you, then I want you to know your feelings are valid. You don't need to be fixed. And if you're someone who loves physical touch, who can't imagine life without it, stick with me. What I'm about to share will change how you see love, connection, and consent forever. Here is the raw truth. Not liking physical touch isn't a sign of being emotionally unavailable or traumatized. It's a sign of a different kind of brain, a different kind of nervous system. It challenges our basic assumptions about what it means to be human. And it might you question how much of the touch in your own life is truly wanted versus just tolerated. Think about it. When you hug someone and they seem a little stiff, do you assume they need more hugs to heal? Or do you ever consider that maybe they're putting up with it to avoid hurting your feelings? And for those who need constant touch to feel loved, have you ever wondered if that's a true preference or just what society has taught you love is supposed to look like? These questions get to the heart of why some people avoid touch, revealing a fascinating world of neurodiversity and authentic connection. To really get it, we have to look at the immense pressure our culture puts on touch. We're told from birth that we need it to thrive, that it's the main way to show love. It's not presented as a preference, but as a biological need. So if you don't want it, you're seen as damaged or in denial. The love languages framework, while well-intentioned, has accidentally created a sense of entitlement for some. People who identify touch as their love language can sometimes feel they have a right to touch others, making their need for contact more important than someone else's comfort. This creates a tactile imperative, where saying no to a hug makes you seem cold or distant. Family, friends, even partners might see your boundaries as a problem to be solved, not a preference to be respected. Therapists might even pathologize it, assuming it must come from trauma. You're told to work on getting comfortable with touch, to heal what's supposedly broken, instead of just having your boundaries honored. But here's the brutally honest truth. Not everyone's nervous system experiences touch as a good thing. And that's not a disorder, it's neurodiversity. Let's break down the 5 key reasons why. First, sensory processing sensitivity. For some people, their nervous system is simply more sensitive. What feels like a gentle, comforting touch to you can feel overwhelming, intrusive, or even painful to them. It's not about being emotionally damaged. It's about having more reactive sensory receptors. A casual pat on the shoulder can feel like a sensory assault, requiring real energy to recover from. Research shows that about 20% of the population has a more sensitive nervous system. For them, touch can be exhausting, not connecting. It's not something they can change. It's their neurological wiring. Second is a high need for physical autonomy. Some people have a very strong sense of personal space. Their body is their private territory, and having that boundary crossed, even with loving intent, feels like a violation. They might enjoy touch when they initiate it or give clear consent, but unexpected or unwanted touch feels like an invasion. This isn't about being cold. It's about a deep psychological need for control over their own body. The third trait is having alternative ways of showing intimacy. People who don't enjoy touch are often masters at other forms of connection. They build deep, loving relationships through long conversations, shared activities, acts of service, and heartfelt words. Their bonds can be incredibly intimate without any physical component. The problem is, touch-oriented people often fail to see this as real intimacy. But research confirms that touch is just one channel for connection, not the only one. Fourth, and this is nuanced, is having trauma-informed boundaries without being pathologized. Yes, past trauma can affect one's tolerance for touch. But it's harmful and inaccurate to assume all touch aversion is a trauma response. Many trauma survivors do enjoy touch in safe contexts. And many people with no trauma history simply don't like being touched. Most importantly, even if it does stem from trauma, their no is still a complete sentence. Their boundaries must be respected, period. The goal shouldn't be to fix them so they can accept touch. It should be to empower them to maintain their boundaries. Finally, the fifth trait is a rejection of social scripts. These individuals have looked at our culture's rules about touch and decided they don't make sense. They've noticed that touch norms vary wildly across cultures, proving it's not a universal biological need. They've recognized that a lot of casual touch is about the toucher's needs, not the recipient's. They question why their no needs a detailed explanation while someone else's desire to touch needs no justification at all. They are independent thinkers, not difficult people. When you put these 5 traits together, sensory sensitivity, a need for autonomy, alternative intimacy styles, valid boundaries, and critical thinking, you get a profile where not enjoying touch is a natural human variation, not a defect. Here's the thing our touch-obsessed culture doesn't want to admit. Physical touch is not a universal human need. Its importance is a cultural story we've been told, and it varies from person to person. Consent is infinitely more important than anyone's desire to connect through touch. The raw truth is that our touch culture has become coercive. People are guilt-tripped into hugs they don't want and told their boundaries are a sign of damage. We've normalized touch entitlement, where people feel rejected if you don't want to be touched, instead of recognizing that bodily autonomy is a fundamental right. So what does this all mean for you? If you love physical touch, that's wonderful. But you must respect when others don't. Their boundaries are not about you. They are not a rejection. If your need for touch clashes with someone's boundaries, the relationship might not be a match, and that's okay. But trying to change them is a violation. And if you're someone who doesn't enjoy physical touch, I hope you feel seen. You are not broken. You're not unloving. Your wiring and your boundaries are valid. You can have incredibly deep, intimate relationships without touch. You don't owe anyone access to your body. No is a complete sentence. The real truth is that demanding touch someone doesn't want is the violation, not refusing it. Healthy relationships respect boundaries. Love adapts. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you dislike touch but struggle to enforce your boundaries? Or are you a touchy person who maybe never thought about it this way? This is a judgment-free zone. Share your honest thoughts in the comments. If this video helped you feel validated or gave you a new perspective, hit that like button and subscribe for more raw truths that challenge what we think is normal. Thank you for watching. Remember, your body is yours. Your boundaries are valid. Honoring your authentic needs is the only intimacy that truly matters.